Growing up, school wasn't really hard. Um, I just I didn't like it, and something that's not so good about myself personally is that if I don't like something, I won't put in the effort to do it. Whatever it is, it doesn't have to be school necessarily. It could be anything in life. So if there's something that I don't really like or want to do, or something I don't believe in, um, I won't do very good at that thing, even though I have to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, school was just one of those things where, I knew it was something I had to do growing up, but I didn't like it. So I didn't try at it, or I wasn't good at it. Um, so yeah, I always, like, growing up, it was, a good report card and then a bad one, and then a good one and then a bad one. So my grades were always kind of fluctuating. This was something that didn't really sit well with my parents, more specifically my mom. And one of the things too that I struggled with my mom was that she had a temper. She was kind of abusive growing up, and so
Abusive.
yeah. So the first time I noticed this was right when my stepdad went on his first deployment. He was already, off, on the ship to the Middle East, or wherever he was. Yeah, my mom, like, I did something, and my mom, like, just lost her mind, and chased me around the house with the belt. At the time, I didn't really see it as anything out of the ordinary, because it wasn't too far off from normal disciplining that I was receiving growing up.
Yeah.
But it definitely it got worse as I got older. Um, yeah, like in middle school, I had a really bad report card. So uh, I got an F on a report card one time, and it was the worst. It was the first F I'd ever received, and it was the worst grade I'd ever gotten ever in school. And my um, my punishment for that was my mom had me pack a bag, um, full of clothes, and nothing but clothes. It was just all clothes, like I was going somewhere. And she drove me to an orphanage, and basically told me, get the fuck out of the car. That was It was traumatizing for sure. As you could imagine, I was probably 11, 12 at the time, and
Jesus.
it brought me to tears. It was definitely something that traumatized me as a kid. Um, but you know, I cried, and I begged, and my mom drove me back home. And instead, what I had to do was I had to take everything out of my room, so I would only be left with a mattress, a blanket, and a pillow in my room, and then an alarm clock so that I could wake up for school in the morning. But I had nothing on the walls. I had no posters. I didn't have, you know, any games or anything like that. Um, and that became like the new kind of regular punishment that I would get anytime that I got a bad grade.
A new
Um,
regular punishment.
yeah. So I would still get the normal, like ass whooping, like with a belt. But then afterwards, it would be, I would have to take all my stuff out of my room, put it in a different room, or put it in storage or whatever, and then I would have nothing but a bed, a blanket, and my alarm clock. But yeah, that was something that traumatized me as a kid,